I'm honored to have been selected as the Distinguished Alumni of the Year for the Department of Nuclear Engineering at the University of New Mexico and would love to take all the credit, but I can't, because who we become is determined by a lot of people besides ourselves. My mother was an educator and understood the value of an education. She went back to school as an adult and completed her PhD in English, at UNM I might add, and set the bar for the rest of our family. My father was the only one in his family to get a college education, also from UNM in civil engineering, and knowing my mother, it was not optional. It was assumed that my sister and I would go to college. The only variables were where and in what, not if. My path to the Department of Nuclear Engineering was not linear. I liked physics and math, but I also liked biology and chemistry, so I set out to be a physician. About the second semester of my junior year, I realized I really didn't have the empathy to be a physician, so I decided to follow in my father's footsteps and become an engineer. I met with the department chairs of each of the engineering departments at UNM, and when I talked to Dr. Robert L. Long at the Department of Chemical and Nuclear Engineering, he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I already had all the math and physics and would only need to pick up one class in material science, and he offered me an Energy Research and Development Administration, which is now the Department of Energy, fellowship that would pay for my education and a teaching assistantship that would pay me a stipend. Deal. I finished all my coursework in nuclear engineering while Bob Bush and I were the lab rats that taught radiation detection and monitoring and reactor theory. We won't talk about me taking apart our AGN-201 reactor. After I finished my coursework, I accepted a job at Oak Ridge National Laboratory and finished my dissertation on the research I was being paid to do at the laboratory. Winning. I spent 30 years at ORNL, ending up as Chief Scientist for the National Security Directorate. I was then asked if I'd be interested in being the Chief Technologist of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Why, yes. I spent 3 years at AFRL and liked the DoD culture so much, I retired from ORNL and came back as a Fed. I accepted my current job as the Director of the Nuclear Technologies Department at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. I have had the privilege of working with exceptional military and civilian colleagues, serving as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Nuclear Matters, and contributing to our nation's security. None of this journey would have been possible without a solid education from UNM, good mentors, exceptional colleagues, and a wonderfully supportive wife and family. I accept this award on the behalf of this collective group. Thank you.